Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Lynchburg. We are glad you are here. Whoever you are, whatever your beliefs, whatever your age, and whomever you love, you are welcome here. As we work together for justice, compassion, and peace, we also acknowledge with humility that our buildings sit on Monacan land. My name is Courtney Senna. I'm the Director of Lifespan Education at this church, and I have been a member here for 18 years. If you are with us for the first time, we are glad you chose to be here this morning to participate in the service for this church community we love. If you would like to receive our monthly newsletter and Friday email updates, please fill out the virtual visitor card found on our website, uulynchburg.org, under Sunday Services, or fill out the yellow card found in the back of the chair in front of you and place it in the offering basket during the offering. Please take note of the announcements in the bulletin, and if you are on Zoom, you can find them in the Friday e-news. I do have a couple of other announcements today. Please join us for the 5 Wishes Advanced Directive Workshop this afternoon at 2 p.m. In addition, we would like to invite you to join us for lunch after the service at Greenhouse on 12th Street. And finally, next week will be our service honoring Dia de los Muertos. This will be a multi-generational service, and we are thrilled to have the children in church with us that day. If you would like to decorate a sugar skull in honor of someone that you love, you may see Brianna Valone after the service and get one from her today. And if you are with us on Zoom and you would like to have one before next week, reach out to myself or Brianna or Terry in the next couple of days. And if we have any left after today, we will be happy to make sure you get one before next week. Now I invite us to release our worries about the world and our own lives as we enter into the service by taking some slow, calming breaths. As we enter our time of worship, we light the flame of our chalice, sharing these words. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, O Spirit of life. Please join us for hymn 83, Winds Be Still. Please rise in body or spirit. Now I would like to invite all the young and not so young ones to join me down front for a time for all ages. We are going to be watching a video today about Diwali. Diwali is a Hindu religious festival of lights and is one of the most important festivals within Hinduism. The festival lasts for 5 or 6 days, and it honors the triumph of light over dark, and we are happy to help celebrate that today. Oh, look at beautiful things. I think it's wonderful that tomorrow Diwali starts, and y'all might want to turn around because there's going to be a video right now. Let's see. You know, one of the most fun things about Diwali is every family lights fireworks. Well, while our video is waiting, I thought here it comes. A lot of people are around our town and the world will be celebrating this.
Grandma!
Hi, sweetheart.
Come in, I'll take your bags.
Are you excited for Diwali?
Yeah, Diwali is the best. I love the fireworks.
Me too. Do you know why we celebrate Diwali?
It's the festival of lights and marks the start of the Hindu New Year.
Good. And when do we celebrate it?
It lasts 5 days around October or November.
And do you remember the story of Prince Rama and Princess Sita?
Yeah. Sita was kidnapped by the demon king Ravana, so Rama had to rescue her with help from Hanuman, the monkey king. There was a fierce battle, but Rama finally defeated Ravana and saved Sita.
Then what happened?
Villagers from their hometown lit lamps to help them find their way home. Diwali means row of lights.
That's right. We also pray to Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and good fortune. We light lamps so that she will visit our homes and bring us good fortune.
And that's why we make rangoli patterns out of colourful powder or petals.
It is. I'm very impressed.
Thanks, Grandma.
In India, the streets will be full of people celebrating with drumming and dancing and, of course, fireworks.
Grandma, look!
Well, maybe I'll have people carry it today and you can do it next time. Okay? I know you did. That's why I was going to get Leona that time, but Leona has her hands full. Do you mind? You think you can do it? Okay. All right. I like that y'all have chalices to take to your class. Classes, it's sort of like the clay lamps that people lit to help Rama and Sita get back home. And your lights are going to help take you to your classes. Let's be gentle with open flames. Let us now sing them to their classes. Sometimes I get confused about whether I'm supposed to be upstairs or downstairs. Each Sunday we take an offering of our gifts, not only for the work of our community in this building, but also in the larger community. If you have found this community to be of meaning in your life, then I invite you to give generously, either in the sanctuary or if you're on Zoom, then you may make a donation through our website or send a check.
The Reverend Gretchen Haley wrote this poem. There's a quiet courage in the choice to let go of the past and the choice to be present in this new day, to live for this hour, this moment, and to believe in its possibility, to release regrets, to stop the spinning stories of what was and no longer is, to accept this gift, to believe that we are worthy still of happiness, of ease, of delight and hope, to believe we have all we need to heal already, and to receive this wholeness with ready hearts and open hands, saying only thank you. Come, let us practice this surrender together, gathering up all the brave boldness we know can be found in our bones and blood if we breathe together, knowing ourselves a part of this one life filled with mystery, creativity, and power, changing us, growing us, and calling us into partnership with all that is. Closer to days when people can vote. Folks in Georgia are lining up. We hold the welfare of our nation in our hearts, that the highest good may come for all people, especially those who are most vulnerable. Let us now take a few moments of prayer and meditation for what's been shared here, all that we hold in our hearts, and our amazing world and her citizens, that we may move toward greater understanding and compassion and justice. Spirit of life, we hold up today the wonder and mystery of life. We give thanks for the life we share with loved ones and friends, and hold up the challenge that is often part of our lives as we discern the healthy path before us to care for both ourselves and our family members. We remember those who have passed out of this life, our beloveds, and we hold up also those who are all around us, who struggle to find the basic necessities of life. May we, as compassionate and loving people, discern the work that is ours to do to make this a more just, peaceful, and loving community and world. This we ask in the name of all that is holy. Amen. Isn't it nice to hear John and Trudy's music after a break? It's delightful. So, as we know, today a number of us will participate in the 5 Wishes workshop. In preparation for that conversation this afternoon, I thought we might spend some time considering the quality of life we want both now and as we age. Shane Claiborne wrote, "All around you, people will be tiptoeing through life just to arrive at death safely. But dear children, do not tiptoe. Run, hop, dance, and skip." Of course, every one of us wants to live the best life we can. Those of us who've had serious illness, injury, or suicidal thoughts have probably been pushed to the understanding that we do indeed need to cherish life more deeply. Such gratitude helps us appreciate every moment we have. Several years ago, and I may have shared this before because it just solidified in my brain, I was in a workshop with Dr. Bernie Siegel, and the room was overflowing with people sharing how their cancer had been a gift, because it transformed them and helped them love life. But we don't need to have a crisis or illness to learn how to love life. We can be intentional about delving into the core of our life through meditation, prayer, and other spiritual practices. This helps us discover what our deepest beliefs about life truly are. To do this inner work takes courage and the decision to live life with more intention. This week, as I was doing research, I found a poem by Dawn Markova about what her closeness to death taught her. I share the poem, "I will not die an unlived life." I will not die an unlived life. I will not fear in falling. I will not live in fear of falling or catching fire. I choose to inhabit my days, to allow my living to open me, to make me less afraid, more accessible, to loosen my heart until it becomes a wing, a torch, a promise. I choose to risk my significance, to live so that which came to me as a seed goes to the next as a blossom, and that which to me as a blossom goes on as fruit. Every day we have the choice for how we want to engage life, whether it be to plant a seed or focus on how we can help influence the world for good. We might think that we don't have time for such engagement, but for each of us, no matter how busy we are, there are little spaces, moments when we can choose what is true for us, what is most precious. I thought of this when I read an interview yesterday with the actress Rita Wilson in The Guardian, and she was reflecting about her life and her long marriage to Tom Hanks, but she also talked about the significance of cancer. She said breast cancer followed by a bilateral mastectomy changed how I think about time. When you don't know whether you'll survive, it's impossible not to consider your mortality and legacy. It taught me that life is finite and to do things and be with people that I love dearly. Each of us has to decide what is essential for us so we can experience the essence of life. When we do this, then every day we can choose to live deliberately all over again. Our forebear Henry David Thoreau said it best. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essentials of life and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I did not wish to live what is not life. Living is so dear. Nor did I wish to practice resignation unless it was quite necessary. I wanted to live deep and suck all the marrow out of life. Ultimately, we all want to live deliberately with honesty and courage. Most of the time, though, our life just takes over and takes us where it will. It's so easy when we're just happening, when life is not deliberate, to put off hard considerations about our life and death until some crisis happens. Some of you may have read the inspiring book Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. And Albom quotes Morrie Schwartz. Everyone knows they're going to die, but nobody believes it. If we did, we would do things differently. There's a better approach: to know you're going to die and to be prepared for it at any time. That's better. That way you can actually be more involved in your life while you're living. The reality, though, is that most of us are like Mark Twain, who said that he wished he knew where he was going to die because he would never go near the place. Wake-up calls, near encounters with death, do make us stop and think, even if for only a few minutes. Morrie writes, I've known some people who were so obsessed with death that it destroyed their lives. And I've known other people who so ignored the fact that we don't live forever that when the sand in the hourglass of life was running low for them, they too were filled with panic and fear. So it's better to live with intention and honesty, to live and love fully and not worry about having an expiration date. I usually use things past their expiration date anyway. And yet it feels more comfortable to live in denial, to want our lives to continue and the lives of our loved ones to continue. But does denial serve us well? Might denial not come from our fear about what might happen when we die? Or might our avoidance come because we're not ready yet to resolve regrets that we have about our words and actions towards others? Are we afraid of suffering? These are challenging existential issues. I think for most of us, the big issue is suffering. We don't want to think about suffering, but denial can increase our suffering or the suffering of those we love. One of the most loving things we can do for our family and friends is to have the courage to let them know what we want for comfort and care before we're ill and cannot speak to ourselves. I was teasing before the service with a couple of people that most of my close friends know that, if I can't speak to myself, to ask that an IV be filled with unsweet iced tea and just put right in my arm. What a relief for everyone when we're clear about our wants and needs, when we talk openly with loved ones about those matters. But that deep honesty takes courage. We aren't often open and upfront about what we need. A lot of us are caregivers and we want to take care of everybody else and not clear about what we need. But honesty means talking openly about what we need so we can thrive and survive. Dr. Bernie Siegel wrote, being a survivor doesn't mean being strong. It's telling people when you need a meal or a ride, company, whatever. It's paying attention to heart wisdom, our own heart wisdom, our feelings, not living a role and expectations, but having a unique, authentic life, having something to contribute, finding time to love and laugh. All these things are the qualities of survivors. This honesty about what we need frees us to live more fully because it helps us acknowledge our mortality and plan for how we want to leave this life. This year, I've been deeply touched by the beautiful deaths of two of my mother figures. They died well, they lived well first, and they died well. In particular, my friend Mary was so aware of what was happening as she transitioned from this life and was able to talk about what that felt like. Her passing helped cement my belief that the last great lesson we teach our children is how to die well. It is the ultimate affirmation of life. Each of us must decide how to balance how we want to live fully in the present, even as we stay aware of our mortality. One of the short little tomes, it was written by a Catholic, so I can call it a tome. One of the little books that's been most powerful for me in my life is The Rule of Saint Benedict, and it was written in the year 516. And in response to what we're talking about today, it says simply, day by day, remind yourself that you are going to die. It's a pretty good rule to live by, making it possible that as long as we have breath, we can answer yes to life. I invite us to rise in body or spirit as we share hymn number 6, just as long as I have breath. Oh. Well, let's be seated, and I want us to. Are we going to start over again, or are we going to just? Okay, I do have a seat. I do want to share these words because I think they're really powerful words to live by. Just as long as I have breath, I must. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through. Still, I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love. As we extinguish the flame of our chalice, which took care of itself, we share these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we hold in our hearts until we are together again. Our final benediction is the words of Nancy Wood. Hold on to what is good, even if it is a handful of earth. Hold on to what you believe, even if it is a tree which stands by itself. Hold on to what you must do, even if it is a long way from here. Hold on to my hand, even when I have gone away from you. Blessed be. Amen.
Thank you, John and Trudy. Let's